Speaking of cultured music, my friends, let's talk about the mighty Sleep Token.
Oh,
Have you listened to the new album, Joey, by chance?
Like 4 times.
Do you like it?
Heck yeah.
I haven't listened to it.
Yeah,
I honestly haven't.
It's probably my favorite one.
Well, you're not
Is it,
alone.
like heavier.
No.
It's more because I know they're very big on that, like kind of like they have like the heavy kind of genty stuff, but he's also doing a lot of the like singing or like
yeah.
rap.
There's a couple moments of that in the album where it gets like really heavy, but for the most part, it's not at all. And
Gotcha.
when I first heard this band, I was not a big fan. And then every once in a while, I'd be like, man, I want to listen to Sleep Token, and it started growing on me. And then when this album came out, I'm like, I am sold. Like, I've accepted that this is not traditional metal. This is where, whether this is where metal's at or whether it's just this band, I've just accepted them for who they are, and I love them for it.
Yeah, dude, honestly, I think that's the problem with this band is like too many people view them through the lens of metal. And they're not a metal band.
I would say
that
stretch. No, they're not
at all. They're a pop band with elements of metal.
That's the problem too. Like a lot of people like to. We've talked about this before with genres. Like people like to put bands into one genre, and it's like a band can be many genres. Like they have a metal part, but maybe they're mostly like a
I feel like looking at this photo, it reminds me of Ghost. You know, this whole image looks really heavy and scary, but it's not at all.
Right.
Like my mom would probably enjoy half this album.
I also dig the idea of having anonymity as a musician. So you don't, it's like not having to, it's like having your cake and eating it too. Like you can do music that's like widely popular, but you don't have to be like a pop star.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, and Slipknot got away with that for a long time. But then Corey, I don't think could help it. Like he couldn't help like not being like the front guy. You know, that's just who he is.
Well, they also got too big to.
He was also doing Stone Sour.
Yeah.
So you know, I like, but you know, the rest of the band for the most part could remain in anonymity. You know, I don't think to metal fans, but like I love that like that idea though. And I love that Sleep Token has done that. I love the lore that they've created around the band, the image, and the way that they carefully fucking constructed that.
They're really good at marketing. Like they're marketing a brand, not just a band.
Yeah. And I like, again, I don't even want to call it marketing. It's just like the way they present themselves. I guess that is marketing technically, but like the way that they present themselves.
That's how you do it. Like whether you like their music or not, you can't deny that they've put in they've done it. You know,
they're playing here this fall, and I really want to go see it because I would just imagine that the live show is phenomenal.
Is even better, yeah.
I can't bring myself to spend like $200 on a ticket.
Is it really? It's for like super expensive.
They sold out real quick. You know, now it's like all the resale tickets are like $200, and I'm like, I just can't do it.
If you wait until like right before the show, those will drop too.
Well, that's what I did for Post Malone and Jelly Roll. So
yeah.
I'm gonna try. Honestly, I'm going to try to shoot it if I can.
That's awesome. Well, so we have a pretty let's put it this way, multi-tiered or multi-dimensional story here about Sleep Token. So we're going to start by this article from Billboard. Sleep Token scores first #1 album on Billboard 200 with Even in Arcadia. And the story. So I think the value add that I provide here on this podcast is I take these articles and blow them up very large so elderly people can read them.
Yeah.
Like myself. Sleep Token scores his first #1 album and first top 10 on the Billboard 200 with the chart-topping arrival of its full-length studio release, Even in Arcadia. The set, which is the English rock band's major label debut, bows atop the list, dated May 24th. This was clearly written by someone in a British press. The set, who says that? Dated May 24th with 127,000 equivalent album units. earned in the United States in the week ending May 15th, according to Luminate, marketing the act's best week by units ever. It's also the biggest week by units for any rock album in nearly a year, and the biggest for any hard rock album in 2 years. Further, the set's streaming numbers are so big that it scores the largest streaming week ever for a hard rock album. So I guess the set is like the new lingo for like the combined like actual hard album sales with like streaming and like YouTube and stats and all that. Maybe I'm just guessing. If you know in the comments, tell us. Sleep Token released its first single in 2016 and made its overall Billboard chart debut in 2019. The band previously scored one entry on the Billboard 200 with Take Me Back to Eden in 2023, debuting and peaking at number 16. That set has earned 819,000 units in the US to date, and its dozen songs, 6 of which were top 10 hits on Billboard's Hard Rock Songs chart, have generated 935 million on-demand official streams in the US. The band was among Billboard's year-end top 10 on top hard rock artists in both 2024 and 2023. In early 2024, the act signed to RCA Records after previously releasing music on the indie label Spine Farm. The masked band, whose members have remained anonymous through the group's career, made its debut on the all-genre Billboard Top 100 songs chart in March with the new album's Emergence. 2 more pre-release songs from that set debut on the tally, Caramel and Damocles. Sleep Token's number 1 debut, coincidentally, Joey, as you kind of referred to this earlier, comes just 2 weeks after another masked hard rock band from Europe, the Swedish act Ghost, landed its first leader with the chart-topping debut of Skeleta. Also in the top 10 in the latest Billboard 200, Kali Uchis achieves her 3rd top 10, which is a whole other story for another show. The Billboard 200 chart, so this is where they kind of break it down a little bit. The Billboard 200 chart ranks the most popular albums of the week in the US based on multi-metric consumption as measured in equivalent album units compiled by Luminate. Units comprise album sales, track equivalent albums, and streaming equivalent albums. Each unit equals 1 album sale or 10 individual tracks sold from an album, or 3,750 ad-supported or 1,250 paid subscription on-demand official audio and video streams generated by songs from an album. The new May 24th, 2025 dated chart will be posted on Billboard's website on May 20th. For all chart news, follow Billboard. So Sleep Token has a number 1 hard rock album, which is pretty rare in this day and age for any band to have. So
again, I would argue it's
I was about to say, is it hard rock?
Not even hard rock, but if we get the credit, then we'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it has elements of hard rock. So
I was gonna say, I like their style, like you guys were saying. Like, I like that they have that anonymous vibe. I like the like imagery they're doing with like the all black kind of like body paint, and then they have like those like tribal kind of masks going on.
Oh, Dryden, it's not completely anonymous. I don't know if you saw Rockfeed on April 1st.
Oh shit.
Sleep Token removes their masks to reveal that they're actually Limp Bizkit.
Oh, that's awesome.
I love it when news things do April Fool's jokes.
Yeah. I remember a while ago, there was like a couple of years ago, Trader Joe's put out this whole thing, like literally a month before April, that they were closing down, and everyone was like, no. Like, why is Trader Joe's closing? And then April Fools came and they were like, April Fools, we're not closing, motherfuckers.
That's an elaborate setup. Was it really? I don't think it was that.
It was like 2 weeks or something, but it was like a good setup. Like, they had it going for a minute.
So to sprinkle a little bit of hate into the Sleep Token equation here.
We love to do that.
I brought our good friend Anthony Fantano along for the ride, and because he did a breakdown of this, and I'm not going to show the whole thing, but this is Anthony Fantano's take on the new Sleep Token album.
Review.
Let's watch.
Hi everyone, Anthony Fantano here, the internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for a review of the new Sleep Token album, Even in Arcadia. Here we have the 4th full-length LP from UK music act Sleep Token, who are recently coming off the incredible commercial success of their last record, Take Me Back to Eden, their 2023 album that really put the band on the map in ways that were both positive and negative. Now, it is true, the Sleep Token in the hideous sound, very bland, boring, uninspired writing, numerous points where I'm just like picking up on way more cringe lyrics than frankly I should. And once again, a presentation that tries to like pass this album off as being like this really thoughtful, deep, moody, like cerebral experience, when in actuality it's just mediocre pop with super loud gent guitars. This record truly does feel like getting pissed on and being told that it's rain. There's not really any sort of like big improvements or changes to make note of outside of once again them embracing, I think, like their pop side a little bit more on a few of these tracks and singles. But yeah, once again, boring, uninspired, and uninteresting album from Sleep Token, who with this unadventurous album are even grinding what little novelty they have into the dirt too, which is why I'm feeling a strong 1 to a light 2 on this project.
Dang.
Transition, have you?
He's got to be trolling.
That's he's definitely not. He's a hater when it comes to stuff like that. He's given like really like let's be honest, his opinion isn't the end all be all either. Like,
he's always said that too.
But I wanted to share that viewpoint about it because I haven't listened to it, but I did see that the other day and I was like, oh, I got to add this into the equation. So
fair enough. I would totally disagree. I would recommend all the listeners just sit down and listen to the album front to back, no interruptions, and enjoy it.
Do what you should do with music. Actually listen to it and judge for yourself.
Yep.
That's because
Anthony Fantano gave My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy a 6,
like a 5 or something. Yeah, dude, that's like a classic album. The hell's wrong with you, Fantano? Maybe as we're going to see in our next story. Yeah, as we're going to see in our next story too. Critics are not always. They don't always have their finger on the pulse. And also, good music stands the test of time. You know what I mean? It's like regardless of how you feel about it when it comes out, 10 years later, if people still love it,
well,
who gives a shit what you thought at the time?